Hello and welcome to Caterpillar Crochet's Frankie Frog crochet along video. This is a nice simple pattern and is great for a beginner. Now here I'm going to tell you exactly how to make this frog, and I'm also making a video to show you how to put him together. But if you prefer a written pattern, I've put a link in the description below, or you could visit caterpillarcrochet.com. And we're going to start by crocheting the body section. Now I'm going to use a 3.5mm hook. And we need a stitch marker. This is my highly technical one. And we're going to use double knitting yarn, or DK as it says here. This is cotton, but you can use acrylic too. And we're going to start with a magic ring. Now don't panic if you haven't done one of these before. I've put a link at the end of the video to show you exactly how it's done. And if you're too impatient, you can just scroll through the Caterpillar Crochet YouTube channel and have a look for it there. But back to the pattern. So we're going to single crochet 6 into this magic ring and pop your stitch marker into this first stitch. Now be careful if you're using one like this that you don't split the thread. And when you've got 6 stitches, pull it tight. Now if you give the stitch marker a little tug, you end up with a little bit more space to do the next stitches in. So for round 2 we want to do 2 single crochets into each stitch. Not forgetting to put your stitch marker back in. Now if this is all going a bit fast, I do have a baby pumpkin video that you can follow if that makes it any easier, and I'll put a link to that video at the end of this one. And there should be 12 stitches. For round 3 we want to do 2 single crochets in one stitch and then 1 single crochet in the next, and repeat that all the way round. So that's 2 single crochets in one stitch and then 1 in the next. And you should have 18 stitches at the end of this row. For round 4 we want to have 2 single crochets in the first stitch and then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So that's 2 single crochets in one stitch followed by 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And continue on until you get to the stitch marker. and you should have 24 stitches. So round 5, we want to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch and then 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So that's 2 single crochet in the first stitch and then 1 single crochet in the next 3. And repeat until you get to the stitch marker. And after a quick count up, you should have 30 stitches. Now round 6, we want to do 2 single crochet into the first stitch and then single crochet into the next 4 stitches. So that's 2 single crochet into the first stitch and then single crochet into the next 4. And after a quick count, you should find 36 stitches. Now you can see we have a nice round flat shape, so I'm now going to single crochet into each stitch, which will cause the shape to curl round. So rounds 7 to 16 are done in exactly this same way, with a single crochet in each stitch. And that includes round 7 and 16, so that would be 10 rows in total. And I think you'll all get bored stiff watching that, so I'll just start you off and show you how it's done, and then the magic fairies will take over and it'll all be magically done when you return. And those 10 rows have been finished now, so we've just finished row 16 and we've got this lovely cup shape. And you should still have 36 stitches in each row. Now we're going to start decreasing, so we're going to single crochet 2 together. So grab the front loop of the first stitch and the front loop of the second stitch, then yarn over, yarn over. And I know there's several different ways of doing this, so I'll just undo it and show you again just so you can see how it's done. So as you can see, it's made up of those 2 loops there, so grab the front one from the first stitch and the front one from the second stitch, yarn over and pull, yarn over and pull. And don't forget the stitch marker. And just double check to make sure you're using the right stitch. So we want to go into this one here. You see the other 2 have been tied up on that first stitch, so into this stitch here. So in this row we're going to single crochet 2 together, then single crochet into the next 4 stitches. So that's single crochet 2 together, then single crochet in the next 4. And now you should have 30 stitches. And you can see that it's just starting to bring that cup shape round a bit. So round 18 we want to single crochet 2 together in the first stitch and then single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So that's single crochet 2 together and then single crochet in the next 3 stitches. and you should have 24 stitches. To round 19, you want to single crochet 2 together and single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So that's single crochet 2 together and single crochet into the next 2 stitches. And you should have 18 stitches now. Now we're going to start stuffing the frog. I found that using quite small pieces, all sort of fluffed up for want of a better way of putting it, seemed to make it less bumpy when you actually have the shape finished. It just looks more smooth and professional than all sort of lumpy bumpy. And yes, lumpy bumpy is indeed a technical term. It's not really, in case you Google it. Now you can see I took the crochet hook out and I pulled the stitch I was working on nice and long so I could find it again and it wouldn't unravel. I just find it easier, it doesn't get caught in the stuffing. And just keep pushing the stuffing in until it's nice and firmly stuffed, but just so it doesn't stretch the stitches. realise this section of the video goes on a little bit, but I thought if you're new to making amigurumi toys, it might be good for you to see quite how much stuffing actually goes into making one. It's generally more than you think. And when you finally manage to untangle your stitch marker, and we're finally on to round 20. So we want to single crochet 2 together and then single crochet in the next stitch. So that's single crochet 2 together and then single crochet in the next one. And try to crochet this quite tightly because the stuffing will try and stretch your stitches. And you should have 12 stitches. And generally by this time there's a bit more room for stuffing. And now for the final round, round 21, we want to single crochet 2 together all the way round. And now cut the thread, if only I can find my scissors. And fasten off the yarn. And your first section of frog is finished. So the next part to make is the eyes. Now I'll show you how to make one of these, but obviously you need two. So to start off in round 1 we want to do 6 single crochets in a magic ring. And now for round 2 we want to do 2 single crochets into each stitch. And you should have 12 stitches at the end. Now for round 3 we're going to single crochet into each stitch. And round 4 we want to do exactly the same thing again, so single crochet into each stitch, and you should have 12 stitches at the end. Now turn the shape the right way out if you haven't done so already, and you see we've got a nice little cup shape. Now cut your yarn long enough so that you can stitch this piece on, and do a little slip stitch. And fasten off your thread. And don't forget to make a second one. Now we're going to make his leg. Again, I'll show you how to make one leg, but don't forget to make him a second one. And we'll start as usual with a magic ring. So you want to do 6 stitches in this magic ring. And for round 2 we shall single crochet 2 in each stitch. And you should have 12 stitches now. For round 3 we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch and then 1 single crochet after that. So that's 2 single crochets then 1 single crochet, and repeat that pattern all the way round to the stitch marker. And you should end up with 18 stitches. For round 4 we want to single crochet into each stitch, so you should still have 18 stitches by the end. And now for round 5 we want to do the same thing again, so single crochet in each stitch. And if all has gone to plan, you should still have 18 stitches. And for round 6 we want to do the same thing again, so single crochet into each stitch. And again you should still have 18 stitches. Now cut the yarn to a reasonable length because you're going to use this to stitch the leg on. And then to keep the shape nice and straight we're going to do a little slip stitch and then fasten off. That little slip stitch just stops the sort of jog, as it were, in the stitches, that sort of little zigzag. And the leg's ready to be attached. Don't forget to make him a second one. Now we're going to start making the feet, and we need to make 2 of these because his, as it were, hands are different. And just for a change we're going to start with a magic ring. So single crochet 6 into your magic ring. And for round 2 we want to do 2 single crochets into each stitch. and then you should have 12 stitches. Now this is where it gets all different and quite exciting. So take out your stitch marker and do 3 chain stitches. And do a single crochet back where your next stitch would have been. Now that's kind of made a thumb, so you now want to do 6 chain stitches. Now as that stitch went wrong, I just want to go back to the single crochet back here, because then I definitely know where I am. So I'll try that again and chain 6. And then I'm going to single crochet back into the next stitch just here. And that's made him a toe. So chain 6 again. And single crochet back into the next stitch. And we'll do that once more, so chain 6. And then single crochet into the next stitch along. And he's got 3 toes and a kind of thumb. Now snip off the thread, again long enough so that you can stitch the foot down. Do a little slip stitch and fasten off the thread. And his foot's complete, and don't forget to make him a second one. Now the final part to make is his hands. Again, don't forget to make 2 of these. Now you want to do a magic ring with 6 stitches in it, so single crochet 6 into your magic ring. And I was right the first time, you should do 6 in this magic ring, not the 7 that I've just made. Oopsies. So just undo that last stitch and hope no one saw. Now his hands are just a smaller version of his feet, so we're going to do that whole chain thing again. So we're going to start by making a thumb. So remove the stitch marker and chain 3 stitches. And then do a single crochet back into the first stitch of your second row. Sorry, it's shifted off camera. There we go. Now we're going to chain 6. And then do a single crochet. And 6 chain stitches again. And a single crochet. I'm sure you're getting the idea by now. And chain 6. Then any guesses? Yep, a single crochet. Except mine's gone all backwards, so we'll start that again. Now he's got 3 long fingers and a thumb. So snip off the thread, a little slip stitch in the next stitch, and fasten off. Now don't forget to make him a second foot, but that's all the bits you need to complete Frankie Frog. And if you want to see how to put him together, just click on the link here.